Okay, guys, we're going back to Ask Scruff. Now, this one is for Smiler. Salute to you, my kid. Let's flick this over. Two questions. First about stop loss. Second about monitoring the trade. I recently discovered that sometimes my stop loss is too wide due to fear of losing, I guess. As a result, once it's hit 4 or 5 madnesses, price many times keep pushing to the box of pain without any significant pullback. May I ask, do you compare your mental stop loss to an ATR? Like 50%? Yes, I do. And is also fine long two barriers. What kind of stop do you consider too tight? Okay, so we'll come to that. And after 1 or 2 hours, the trade's not performing as expected. When monitoring those trades going against you, what crucial things do you look at? Okay, so let's flick that back. A little bit to unpack. First of all, when it comes to stop losses, there's a tight stop. I don't believe in tight stops. So that kind of answers part of the question. What do I consider a tight stop? Well, if you're trying to stop a tight stop, depending on the market, but let's just sort of take the DAX, for example. I see people trying to trade the DAX with a 20 pip stop. Ludicrous. It'll eat that in a heartbeat. So you've got to actually know roughly how far it'll move. So a good judgment of it is normally a full hourly ATR. So that would be kind of a tight stop because it could pull back for 2 hours. So it'll essentially wipe your ATR out. Okay. So I'm not a lover of tight stops. So anything really under 20, I would consider a tight stop. And if you're day trading, you're just going to get clipped. If you're scalping, then fine, I'll go with that because you've got to be in and out, and if you're wrong and you let it run, it'll destroy all the hard work. But I don't like scalping either, so that kind of rules that out. So let's look at this. A rule of thumb for a main stop, and we'll call it a main stop because you got tight stops, you got main stops, and then you got wide stops. Now, if your stop is too wide and you get a haymaker, it'll just wipe you out, absolutely cripple you. So it shouldn't be there in the first place. But a main stop is roughly 50 to 3/4 of a daily ATR. Now, just because it's there doesn't mean to say you have to use it. All it means is if the market has gone that far, the chances of it coming back is pretty slim. So therefore, why were you taking the trade in the first place? The stop has one job, just one. Protect the account. That's it. It has nothing to do with the trade or anything like that. It is there purely, I've had enough. I can't take any more pain. I've got to get out. That's its job. That's all it does. So I typically work on half an ATR. Okay. Now I'll look at a solid level and a swing point. The first one will be the mental. The second one is the hard. And the way it works is very simple. If I see that and it is miles and miles away, I'll ask myself a simple question. Is it worth it? And if the answer is no, I either wait till it becomes worth it or I don't take trade at all. But if I'm absolutely compelled to take the trade, then I've got to ask how much is it and can I afford it? And if I can't afford that stop, again, I've got two choices. I either half the position size so that it becomes affordable, and if I still can't afford it, I'll half it again, or I don't take the trade. It's that simple. So when it comes to stops, it's actually about common sense rather than how many pips or anything like that. It's just, you've got to look at it and think, well, I'll roughly get X out of the up end. What's it going to cost me if it goes wrong? And if I agree to it, fine. And that's why sort of when you trade, you should be as calm and cool as a cucumber. Because if you haven't agreed to that trade, you're sweating all the way through it and you'll panic and you'll make mistakes. But if you've agreed to it and you know it costs you X amount of pounds, then you just go, fine. It's just cost of doing business and it's a paid lesson in not what to do. It's these little things that help you. Okay. Now, the second part of the question was, after 1 or 2 hours, it's not performing your expectation, and you're seeing the trades going against you. What crucial things am I looking at? I'm actually looking for a change in sentiment. If the sentiment is still there and it's within the boundaries that I've set out, fine, I'll hold the trade, and I'll hold it to the 9th degree if I have to, as long as the sentiment is still there. Now, the sentiment comes from your dominant direction. You know, your dominant direction is what is telling you what's going on, you know, because it's the main driver of the day. And as long as that stays in place, I'll hold that trade. And if it changes, well, then I've got to make a choice. If it goes from a sell to neutral, for argument's sake, I've got to make a choice. And that choice normally is I'll start switching positions off. I'll hold part of the trade, but I'll start reducing the exposure by closing part of the loss off. And then that way, if it does go to stop, it hasn't cost me as much. But if it runs back to target or runs back to roughly a positive expectation, then I've got reasons to get in and get out. But I don't do it on a wing and a prayer. As long as it's in place, I'll let the trade do its thing. I'll let it breathe. And this is why watching screens and watching the charts all the time is stupid. You know, because if you're watching a 5-minute chart, but your sentiments are coming from 4 hours and hourlies, they're the charts you want to be watching to see if they change colour, not the 5-minute, because the 5-minute will do it over and over. So that's kind of roughly the way I would do it, kid. Hope that helps. Catch you soon.